Hi friends! If you're here, you're already stepping towards a better version of yourself. This channel Path to Betterment, created by IIT Bombay alumni, is for those who want to excel in personal as well as professional life. Subscribe to our channel, enjoy our videos to make every moment, whether you're traveling, relaxing, eating or working, a chance for growth and inspiration. Imagine if you could transform your life just by changing small, everyday habits. The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg dives into the science of why we do what we do and how we can change it. This audiobook is a guide to understanding and reshaping your habits, whether they're personal routines, work practices, or even the shared customs within our society. In this engaging book, you'll hear real-life stories of people who've broken free from unhealthy cycles, from a woman who quit smoking and turned her life around, to companies that revolutionized their business by focusing on the right keystone habits. Author breaks down what he calls the habit loop, which consists of a cue, a routine, and a reward, and he explains how this loop controls much of our daily lives without us even realizing it. Listening to this audiobook can empower anyone, from those seeking personal growth to professionals aiming for workplace success, and even community leaders working towards societal change. The Power of Habit teaches that by making small adjustments in how we think about our routines, we can pave the way to a healthier, more productive life. Whether you want to boost your willpower, improve your relationships, or enhance your leadership skills, this book gives you the tools to start making positive changes today. So, if you've ever felt like certain behaviors are holding you back, or if you're curious about the science behind habit formation, The Power of Habit will inspire you to take control and make lasting, meaningful change. It's not just a book, it's a toolkit for anyone looking to understand and reshape the patterns that define their lives. In Part 1 of The Power of Habit, author takes readers on a fascinating journey into the habits of individuals, exploring how they are formed, how they work, and how they can be changed. This section is anchored in author's central concept, the habit loop, a three-part process that forms the basis of every habit: cue, routine, and reward. Understanding this loop is essential to changing any habit, as author argues, because it allows us to identify and modify each element to reshape our behavior. Author opens with the story of Eugene Pauly, a man who lost his memory due to a severe brain infection but still managed to retain habits. Eugene couldn't remember anything about his day-to-day life or recognize his surroundings, yet he could navigate his neighborhood and find his way home, relying on deeply ingrained routines. His case showed scientists that habits are processed in a different part of the brain, the basal ganglia, separate from memory and reason. This makes habits incredibly powerful and persistent, as they are carried out without requiring conscious thought. One of the core insights in this section is how habits can form without us even realizing it. Most of our daily actions, from the way we get ready in the morning to how we eat and drive, are routines governed by habit loops that our brains perform automatically. Author emphasizes that this automatic nature of habits is both a strength and a vulnerability. On the one hand, habits free up mental energy by reducing decision-making. On the other, they can lead to harmful routines that are difficult to break. Author then dives into how companies and marketers have harnessed the science of habits to their advantage. The example of Procter & Gamble's Febreze highlights how understanding the habit loop can lead to tremendous success. Initially, Febreze, a product designed to neutralize odors, failed in the market because consumers didn't develop a habit of using it. But when P&G's marketers incorporated a rewarding fresh scent, they created a craving for that clean smell at the end of a cleaning routine, turning Febreze into a blockbuster product. This case illustrates that habits are strongest when they produce a craving for the reward, a craving that becomes a powerful force driving the habit. The second chapter of Part 1 focuses on the craving brain and explains how habits create neurological cravings. Author presents the story of Claude Hopkins, an advertising pioneer who turned Pepsodent toothpaste into a household staple. Hopkins did this by introducing a reward, the feeling of a tingling, clean mouth, that people began to crave. This sensation made people want to brush their teeth regularly, reinforcing the habit. Hopkins's success illustrates that habits become even more deeply rooted when a craving is attached to the reward. This concept is crucial in fields like marketing, addiction recovery, and personal growth, as it highlights the importance of understanding what individuals are truly craving. Finally, author discusses how the habit loop can be modified to break undesirable habits and form healthier ones. He introduces the golden rule of habit change. To alter a habit, keep the same cue and reward but change the routine. This principle is widely used by programs like Alcoholics Anonymous, AA, which replaces the drinking routine with regular meetings, community support, and open conversation. AA doesn't alter the cues that might lead to drinking, nor the feeling of relief that alcohol might provide, but it offers an alternative routine, fulfilling the same emotional need with a healthier behavior. Throughout Part 1, author makes it clear that habits are not destiny, they can be reshaped and transformed. By identifying the cues and rewards that drive our habits and consciously altering the routines, we have the power to change them. This section encourages readers to reflect on their routines, understand the triggers and rewards behind them, and consider how small adjustments can lead to lasting, positive changes. Ultimately, Part 1 of The Power of Habit provides an empowering message. By understanding and reprogramming our habit loops, we can take control of our behaviors and improve our lives. Author offers readers tools to assess their personal habits and emphasizes the transformative potential of small, deliberate changes. Through compelling stories and research, he shows that habit change is not only possible but accessible to anyone willing to look within and take action. In Part 2 of The Power of Habit, The Habits of Successful Organizations, author shifts focus from individual routines to explore how habits drive success within companies and organizations. This part delves into how leaders can shape workplace habits to boost performance, foster a positive culture, and adapt to change effectively. Central to this exploration is the idea of keystone habits, key routines that, when adopted or changed, create a ripple effect, impacting other areas of an organization and leading to widespread improvements. Author opens this section with the story of Paul O'Neill, former CEO of Alcoa, who transformed the company by focusing on an unexpected priority: safety. Rather than discussing profits or productivity in his first meeting with Alcoa's board, O'Neill declared that his primary focus was creating the safest work environment possible. His strategy was based on the concept of a keystone habit. By addressing safety, O'Neill could foster a culture of open communication, accountability, and efficiency throughout the organization. Employees at every level were encouraged to report safety concerns, which led to quicker decision-making and a culture of trust and empowerment. As Alcoa's safety improved, so did its financial performance, making it one of the best-performing stocks in the Dow Jones Index. This story underscores the power of keystone habits in shaping corporate culture and enhancing performance. Next, author explores the role of willpower as an organizational habit, using Starbucks as a primary example. Starbucks recognized that many employees, particularly baristas, face high-stress situations that require patience and effective communication. To help employees manage stress and improve customer service, Starbucks introduced training programs focused on building willpower. One approach was the blah-tape method, which taught employees to listen, acknowledge, take action, thank the customer, and explain. This systematic approach empowered employees to handle difficult situations with confidence and consistency, turning willpower into a habitual response. Author explains that by investing in these skills, Starbucks didn't just improve customer satisfaction but also enhanced employees' job satisfaction and retention, showing how habits of resilience can transform an entire workforce. Author then shifts to the concept of crisis as an opportunity, explaining how moments of crisis can be instrumental in changing destructive habits within organizations. For example, he recounts incidents at Rhode Island Hospital where errors in routine operations exposed flaws in communication and accountability. In one instance, the hospital's rigid hierarchy and communication breakdowns led to a serious surgical error. Author argues that in such situations, crises provide a rare chance for leaders to address and reshape the underlying dysfunctional habits that caused the issue. At Rhode Island Hospital, leaders seized the opportunity to implement new habits focused on teamwork and open communication, ensuring that safety and collaboration became core elements of the hospital's culture. Author emphasizes that crises can create the urgency needed to break unproductive routines and replace them with more effective practices. Part 2 also covers how companies use consumer data to identify and shape customer habits, particularly in retail. Author provides the example of Target's use of data analytics to predict life events, such as pregnancy, based on buying patterns. Target's data scientists discovered that expectant mothers often buy specific products early in their pregnancies, so the company created targeted marketing campaigns that would appeal to these customers at just the right time. This practice, while raising ethical questions, demonstrates how companies can strategically tap into customer habits to enhance engagement and loyalty. Target's approach shows the potential of habit-based marketing, where understanding and predicting consumer habits allows companies to create more personalized and timely customer experiences. Author concludes Part 2 with the idea that organizational success is often built on the deliberate cultivation of specific habits. Companies that focus on keystone habits, foster willpower, and embrace crises as opportunities for change can transform themselves and create cultures that adapt to challenges and achieve sustained success. He argues that a company's culture is essentially a collection of habits that employees adopt based on the organization's values and leadership. When leaders strategically focus on shaping these habits, they can create a workplace where employees feel valued, empowered, and aligned with the organization's goals. In sum, Part 2 of The Power of Habit reveals that habits are as crucial for organizations as they are for individuals. Through stories of real companies and leaders, author shows that organizations can harness keystone habits to drive success, turn willpower into a source of resilience, use crises to reshape culture, and leverage consumer habits to better serve their customers. These insights emphasize that by understanding and managing habits, organizations can create lasting, positive change, ultimately building cultures that inspire and empower employees and cultivate brand loyalty among customers. In Part 3 of The Power of Habit, The Habits of Societies, author examines how habits shape communities, social movements, and cultural norms, showing that the habits of individuals and organizations can have a profound impact on society at large. This section explores how leaders and movements have harnessed social habits to inspire change, and it delves into the powerful role of belief in sustaining new routines and overcoming obstacles. Author provides compelling case studies to illustrate how understanding and influencing societal habits can lead to significant, lasting transformation. Author begins by exploring the story of the Montgomery bus boycott, a pivotal event in the American civil rights movement. He explains how social networks and pre-existing social habits played a crucial role in sustaining the boycott. When Rosa Parks was arrested for refusing to give up her bus seat, her decision set off a chain reaction, not only because it was a symbolic stand against segregation but because Parks was well connected in her community. Her network of friends and associates spread the word, mobilizing people to participate in the boycott. The movement succeeded not only because of outrage at segregation but also because community leaders tapped into established social habits, like attending church and neighborhood gatherings, to organize and reinforce collective action. This case illustrates that social movements often build on the habits of individuals, using these routines to encourage participation and foster solidarity. Author also discusses the role of peer pressure in shaping social habits. He argues that habits are more likely to change when people see their friends or respected community members taking action. In the Montgomery boycott, participants continued to make sacrifices, enduring long walks and financial strain, because they saw others in their community doing the same. This collective perseverance highlights how social habits are strengthened by the sense of a shared mission, with individuals holding each other accountable. This peer pressure effect is central to the success of many social movements, as it creates a powerful reinforcement loop, making individuals more likely to adopt and sustain new behaviors when they feel part of a group effort. The section then delves into the crucial role of belief in sustaining habit change. Author introduces the story of Alcoholics Anonymous, AA, as an example of how belief systems can help individuals overcome deeply ingrained habits. AA operates on a simple premise: replacing the destructive habit of drinking with a new routine, supported by meetings and a network of people who share the same goal. However, what truly makes AA effective, author argues, is the introduction of belief. often a belief in a higher power or in the program itself, which gives individuals the mental strength to maintain their new routines. When individuals in AA experience a crisis, it is often their belief in the program and their community support that helps them resist relapse. This demonstrates that habits are not just behavioral but are tied to emotional and mental frameworks, and that belief is essential in transforming habits, especially in the face of stress or temptation. One of the most fascinating case studies in this part of the book is Saddleback Church, founded by Pastor Rick Warren. Warren recognized that building strong social habits among his congregation was essential for sustaining their commitment and growth. He introduced small group gatherings where church members could connect on a personal level, creating a structure that encouraged people to attend services regularly and support each other's faith journeys. These small groups created a sense of community and accountability, allowing church members to form strong bonds and reinforce each other's commitment to their shared beliefs. Author uses this example to show that social habits, when nurtured effectively, can build powerful networks of support that keep people engaged and motivated. Finally, author raises important ethical questions about the power of habits in society. He presents a case involving a gambling addict whose deeply ingrained habits led to financial ruin and legal troubles. This example forces readers to confront questions of personal responsibility, free will, and the limits of habit control. Author suggests that while habits can be powerful forces, individuals must take responsibility for understanding and managing them, especially when they have negative consequences for themselves or others. The story raises thought-provoking questions about the line between personal accountability and the influence of automatic behaviors, especially in cases where individuals claim their actions are beyond their control due to habit. In Part 3, author illustrates that habits are not only personal but also shape the fabric of societies. From social movements to religious organizations, societal change often depends on leaders and communities working together to build collective habits and reinforce shared beliefs. By understanding how habits operate on a social level, individuals and leaders can harness these routines to foster lasting change, whether it's in the pursuit of civil rights, addiction recovery, or community-building efforts. Author's insights underscore that habits are powerful forces that influence not only our personal lives but also our shared experiences and the world around us. In wrapping up the power of habit, Charles Duhigg leaves us with a powerful and practical message. Habits are a defining force in our lives, influencing everything from personal routines to business success and even the movements that shape our world. By understanding how habits work, through the habit loop of cue, routine, and reward, we gain the power to take control of our behaviors, make intentional changes, and create lives aligned with our goals and values. Author has shown us that habits are not simply small routines but embedded patterns that our brains rely on, often without our conscious awareness. Part 1 taught us that our personal habits are rooted deeply in our neurology, and although they may seem unbreakable, they can be changed. By examining our own habit loops, we can isolate the cues and rewards driving our routines, allowing us to make strategic changes and introduce healthier, more productive behaviors. In Part 2, author expanded this concept to organizations, showing that the most successful companies focus on keystone habits that ripple across all levels. When companies prioritize meaningful habits, like safety, willpower, or customer care, they build cultures of trust, productivity, and resilience. Organizations can harness these habits to create environments where employees thrive, challenges are navigated smoothly, and customers feel valued, all of which contribute to long-term success. Part 3 moved even further outward, exploring the habits of societies and the collective behaviors that shape communities. From social movements like the Civil Rights Movement to community organizations and support groups like Alcoholics Anonymous, author illustrated that social change often relies on understanding and mobilizing collective habits. Leaders who recognize the power of shared routines, mutual accountability, and belief systems can drive remarkable change. Habits, when aligned with a shared mission, can unite people in the face of hardship, providing the strength needed to achieve lasting transformation. Ultimately, author leaves us with a sense of empowerment. Habits are not fixed destinies. They are patterns we can reshape with patience, understanding, and the right tools. The journey to changing habits might be challenging, but as we've seen, Small adjustments to our daily routines can create profound results. By identifying our cues, routines, and rewards, and by nurturing beliefs that support our goals, we can build lives, organizations, and communities that align with our highest aspirations. As you finish this audiobook, consider the habits that define your own life, work, and relationships. Reflect on the patterns you'd like to change or build upon. With this understanding, you're equipped to take the first steps toward creating positive, meaningful change, one habit at a time. Author reminds us that the power to shape our lives is already within us, waiting to be harnessed. So, go forward with curiosity and courage, and begin creating the habits that will lead you toward a better future. If you enjoy such content, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching.